Hi guys, it's Kelly and Crystal. Crystal and Kelly, whatever show you want to call it today. I'm hosting, so I get to be first. So, so we're here today with the awesome Dean Levitt from Mad Mimi. You might recognize him. So he is the Chief of Culture at Mad Mimi, a co-founder. He and his brother founded Mad Mimi, and we're going to talk a little bit about what to expect now that GoDaddy's in the picture, and we're going to talk about how you can use Mad Mimi to its full potential. If you just went in and set up your RSS feed and you haven't done anything else, you're missing out on a ton of stuff. So we're going to get to that, but first we're all going to introduce ourselves, give our little short spiel for those that are new. So I'm Kelly, and I blog at threeboysandadog.com. I blog about homeschooling and homemaking tips for busy folks. I've been blogging since November 2006. So that's me in a nutshell, and on to Crystal.
Good morning, guys. How are you? It's Crystal from DallasMomBlog, crystalandcomp.com. And as you guys know, every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time, Kelly and I have been coming to you guys for a little over a year and a half, sharing every single week. We've taken you through, from social media aspects to when Google made changes to building a tribe, connecting with others. We cover everything. We're so transparent with you guys, and we share with you because that's how mine and Kelly's relationship started. She started mentoring me. I started blogging in 2008 and needed help and couldn't find answers, and big bloggers didn't want to respond to emails or questions, and I get it now. It's busy. Y'all saw my email the other day, 11,000 emails waiting in my inbox. I mean, it gets crazy. But Kelly was the first person who said, yes, I will help you. And so she'd give me tasks. I would go and do it, come back. She would give me more tasks. I would go and do it. And that's how we built our relationship. And so then we said, we have to pay this forward to people. We have to help others. And so that's what we're here for. And as you guys, many of you know that we have the free Facebook group that people interact on. And the other day, I got an email stating that Mad Mimi was now going to be part of GoDaddy, and kind of freaked me out a little. So I shared that over on Facebook, and I forgot that I had invited, because I use Mad Mimi, I had invited Angelina, which is one of their members, to be part of the group, and she's like, wait a minute, don't be freaked out. So Kelly jumped on it and is like, listen, let's talk. Let's talk about this. So we've brought Dean in, and that's what we're doing here today. So Dean, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, I'm Dean. I'm one of Mad Mimi's founders. I've been there from the start, and I totally get the whole thing. Let me start with my position. I'm Chief of Culture, which is a very fancy way of saying I'm pretty much Mad Mimi's people person. I deal with everything from our content on our blog to our customer support, to anything that interacts with other humans, and working online all the time. I think I got the best position in the whole company. So I still get to feel like I'm always dealing with awesome people. And yeah, I totally get the concerns, and I get the reason you freaked out. Honestly, when it freaked me out a little bit when it was totally done in really a reality. But I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have about it, and then of course chat about email marketing in general. It's something I'm actually a little bit oddly passionate about. So yeah, hit me with your best shot.
Kelly, where do we want to get started? Do we want to start with talking about kind of the history of Mad Mimi? Oh, I think Kelly's frozen. Oh no.
I'm muted. I always mute because I'm always eating and I don't want y'all to hear me crunching. So I mute my microphone and then I start talking and I forget to unmute it. So yeah, let's kind of let's go straight into the whole what to expect with the GoDaddy thing.
Sure.
We can do that, and then we'll knock that one out, and we can move on to how awesome Mad Mimi is.
Cool.
And let me just say real quick, guys, if you have questions, this is just like any other hangout. Kelly and I are watching. She's the cameraman, so I'll pay close attention to the event page. Ask your questions there, and we have Dean's undivided attention. So we can ask questions, send those in. All right, Dean, go ahead. Let's get started.
Cool. So what can you expect? Honestly, in the short term, as in like the next year, don't expect any changes. So my entire team every single person on the team is sticking around. When GoDaddy came to us about this whole acquisition, they never came to us because they wanted to cannibalize some of our infrastructure. They approached us because their customers were using Mad Mimi, and their customers had said that they want email marketing as a bigger part of their GoDaddy tools. And so GoDaddy said, okay, let's talk to Mad Mimi because we think it's a good fit. At no point did GoDaddy say, we need to ruin something that's doing very well. And honestly, if they had kind of come up with this game plan that would have changed anything about what we love about Mad Mimi and what you guys love about Mad Mimi, we would have said no. So what you can expect is much of the same support, the same developers, the same product design, the same, people are stressed out about improvements. Right? Everyone's like, well, what are you going to change? Are you going to be making more improvements? The answer is yes, we're going to be making improvements because every single week we're making improvements. But they're going to be improvements that myself and Gary, my brother, who actually heads up all of the product design, they're going to be the changes that he decides and I decide based on the stuff that our customers like you actually want. At the same time, what we're going to be doing for GoDaddy, because I know this sounds a little bit kind of fantasy-based and unicorns and all of that, what GoDaddy wants is for us to build a version for their customers. So Mad Mimi is not being shoehorned into GoDaddy. Mad Mimi is left alone. And we're integrating Mad Mimi separately into GoDaddy. So the changes are going to be happening on GoDaddy's customer side, not Mad Mimi's customers side. And just to get a little bit more into that, at some point, maybe in the future, we'll add like a little tagline saying, Mad Mimi, a GoDaddy company. Maybe not. I don't think, we've discussed a lot of things about changing the branding. And at this point, we've said, no, there doesn't seem to be any need to it. And GoDaddy has stressed many, many times to us and publicly they have no intention of changing something that works.
Mm-hmm.
So GoDaddy has had a majorly bad rap lately, from killing elephants to almost pornographic ads. Are you concerned about the wholesome Mad Mimi, having backlash from that?
That was a big concern. So let me first address, and I feel a little bit silly being a GoDaddy cheerleader here, but this stuff is all honest. GoDaddy's okay. So let's back up. Let's deal with the elephant first. Then let's go to the porny ads. So the elephant. I'm a lifelong vegetarian, born and raised in rural South Africa. I grew up with elephants. There is no bigger advocate for conservation, especially of African wildlife, than myself. And Gary, my brother, also lifelong vegetarian. We've spent our child years amongst elephants, buffalo, rhino, not so much around hyenas because they do genuinely bite, but very comfortable around elephants, and I truly love them. That was something that we discussed almost from day one. But here's the facts, is that their past CEO, Bob Parsons, was one of the early Silicon Valley startup guys, one of the early success stories of the whole thing, and he was that kind of guy who's, motorbikes, hunting, and that isn't something I agree with. And that's not something anyone remaining at GoDaddy actually agrees with. He's no longer the CEO, not as of, and it's quite, I don't know the exact date, but it's certainly a couple of years now that he's not been the CEO. He's on the board, but he's not involved in the day-to-day running of the company. But the thing is that the individuals in GoDaddy, there's 4,000 employees, and once we discussed it with them, once we met them, I didn't think it was fair to color the entire company based on the actions of an ex-CEO. Their new CEO, on the other hand, is also into conservation, and in his own words, the only thing he's ever pointed at an elephant is a camera. It was a Canon, which he feels bad about, but it was just it was a camera nonetheless. So, to my mind, that is a mitigating factor. Will I ever agree with hunting? Personally, no. But I think that one person's actions should not condemn everyone else. On an individual by individual basis, everyone I've met at GoDaddy is seriously sincere about the work they do in working with small businesses. They're the first step to getting a small business online. And so I really think that that's fine. To me, the elephant was an issue at first, but I think it actually distracts from more important work that they do. So I don't want to just steamroll, ramble over you. So if you have any questions, jump in with that. It should be the undressing of advertising there.
Well, I think that you answered that so well. I mean, obviously, we're not all going to have the same. I'm in the South. I grew up in a family that hunts. So, you know, but the thing is, for me, the biggest thing is I just want to ensure that we tell people all the time, GoDaddy is the place to go to buy URLs. Do it. That is where you should go. I had a horrible experience buying a URL through a reseller, almost lost it, had to go through a grievance process that almost destroyed everything I had worked 5 years to grow. I mean, one of the worst experiences. And GoDaddy is the place to go to buy URLs. But being that Kelly and I have both been in the blogging world for a while, we've heard, you know, the stories about people who use their other services. And in my opinion, it's like going to a Tex-Mex place and ordering a pizza. You don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you specialize in something and that is what you're good at. And so it scared me initially because I'm thinking, Mad Mimi, I have been using you guys since January. Your customer service is phenomenal. I mean, and that's one thing that I went back to our Facebook group and said, like, something would happen to my feed and I couldn't figure out how to fix it. I'm not real technical savvy and I didn't want to bother Kelly. So I would go on and chat with your people, and I'm not kidding, Dean, in seconds somebody was available walking me through it, not letting me go until they were sure that I was comfortable with the situation. And I would then go to our Facebook group and say, these Mad Mimi folks are awesome. I mean, if you are looking for a provider to deliver your feed, this is the way to go. And so it just scared me. I will tell you that when I moved my URL back to GoDaddy, their customer service for that element was great. Mm-hmm. But all the horror stories I had heard about other things that people have used them for, that rapport was not so great. And so it just scared me because I'm like, don't take a great thing and let it be. But it sounds more to me like Kelly's really been talking me down off the roof about this because, and usually the roles are reversed. Usually I'm the one, Kelly, hold on. But she's the one that's like, Crystal, really, I don't think that this is as bad as you think it is. And it seems like you guys are probably going to help GoDaddy a lot, maybe not a lot more than they are a big name, but I think that your quality the transparent relationships that you've grown on a customer service level with your customers is really going to hopefully benefit GoDaddy in a great way. And Kelly and I were having a conversation yesterday about this, and I think it was with Angelina when we were talking to Angelina from your company. The online world.
It was actually with Neil, I think. When we were talking about Chatter.
And the online world is changing, and you guys are getting that moms are really working from home and creating businesses, and moms are your customers. Women are your customers. And it looks like GoDaddy's starting to see that.
Right.
Perfect. You know, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think there's a bit of a delay, so I might have inadvertently interrupted you.
No, you're
fine. So you're right. Mad Mimi is we call ourselves a feminine company. We just always have been out from our style to the way we interact. It's I don't have any compunction saying that as a guy. The company is a feminine company, and we've always had very strong women involvement in the company itself. And so, to tackle a couple things there. So, let me dive into the porny ads. Let's get that out of the way, and then we'll dive into the customer support and
Okay.
what GoDaddy's vision for us there actually is, and our own vision there. So, with regards to advertising, absolutely, they previously, and it is interesting. I don't think this is a mitigating factor, but it's merely of interest that their sexist advertising has always been conceived and implemented by Bob Rectorman, who, as you can tell from the name, is a woman. But what their goal was maximum impact, not necessarily positive impact, but maximum impact. And some of their most outrageous advertising led to their biggest sales days. So they were of a mind of, let's get people talking about GoDaddy, good or bad. And it's worked up until now. But a couple years ago, and this one I know is about 2 years, the outcry from people, you guys, myself, people on my team, and organized women's groups and women's organizations all over the country made a change. They spoke up, and GoDaddy listened, and GoDaddy said, you're right, we're going to cut this stuff out. And if you look back at their last ad campaigns, they're all focused on small businesses. Danica Patrick is staying fully clothed, or at least in a bodybuilder suit in one of their ads. But even internationally, their campaigns have moved out of in-house, and they're now working with ad agencies. And their ad campaigns do not focus on undressing and objectifying anyone. They focus instead on quit your day job, go follow your dream, we'll help your small business succeed. And you can see that in their recent ads. And you can really trace the stuff back to a specific timeline. Now, I'll be honest, had you asked me this a month ago, I wouldn't have known this. I would have also had the same assumptions you guys did. But look, when a company acknowledges their mistakes and says, we're going to move forward after listening to you, so fine. So I'll give them a shot. But you're absolutely correct to be concerned about this stuff. And it has created a very negative outlook, or reputation. It's created a negative reputation for GoDaddy, but it is something they're actively moving away from and distancing themselves from. It got them here, but they recognize that it's not the way forward.
It's very interesting that you say, but it works. I mean, you're so right. It works. My 14-year-old boy, he'll be 15 in November, so he was, probably, 13, perfect age, said, I have no idea what Danica Patrick is selling, but I am buying it. Said that, watching TV. He said, I have no idea what she's selling, but I'm buying it.
Right.
I mean, it worked, depending on who you were trying to reach. I guess all the little 13-year-olds would pay their money for whatever it was and start their own little blogs. But
Right.
Deuce. I mean, Deuce has been on every news channel around, and all her blog is negativity and cursing. But it worked.
Right.
So I see that, but there's, as we say, in the entire blogging world, in the marketing world, things change.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure they're seeing that's not going to work for the long haul. These women are getting irate. Things are changing. We have to go along. I mean, personally, I think it's extremely intelligent of GoDaddy to reach out to Mad Mimi. Mad Mimi it embodies women. Come on, it's a woman as the person. A smart woman. A woman with glasses who looks super smart. So, I mean...
Yeah. It's been interesting seeing the real evolution of the ads, because they're very upfront about the whole thing and upfront about the process. And their new CEO, he talked to my team, and he said, we want to shift the entire world economy towards small businesses. And who's driving this? It's women, it's moms. And GoDaddy recognizes this, and it's something that they want to change. And again, they've had a real restructuring of their actual team. The individuals that make up their C-level team, their decision makers here, are new, and they're coming from other companies, and they're coming from companies run by women, and they're coming from a more modern outlook than, say, was previously present there. And so it's really is something that they're moving towards. And with regards to customer service, GoDaddy gave me two tasks. One is to maintain our awesome customer service for Mad Mimi customers, and two is to work with their customer service and see whether there's any areas that we can translate. And there's a couple things they've done right, which were deal breakers for us if they had done them wrong. And one of which was every single person on my team can stay, they can work remotely. So the single moms and the single dads and the stay-at-home moms and the stay-at-home dads who work for Mad Mimi are all keeping their jobs, and they're all going to be positive influences in GoDaddy's culture, both in terms of support and in terms of interaction with their fellow colleagues now in a larger company. And GoDaddy recognizes that our support was good because our awesome, wonderful, beloved customers said so. And we have some processes. We don't have protocols or rules or scripts, but we do have rules internally for dealing with any busy times. Is that if our customers are stressed and customer support can't keep up, everyone else jumps in, from our developers to myself or Gary, our CEO, to our social folks, to anyone who's free gets all hands on deck. And so there's a real recognition all the way up to customer concerns, and that's something that GoDaddy has asked us to work with them as well with. And to be honest, their customer support is really good. They do phone support very well. I've heard horror stories, but I've also heard a lot of positive stories. And, we're dealing with law of averages. With a company that size, you can't make everyone happy. We're going to try, though. We're going to do our best to see anything I can do. I'm going to learn from them as well. I'm going to learn how to improve. If I can offer phone support to Mad Mimi customers, hooray! And GoDaddy does that stuff really well, and I'd love to learn positives from them and also impart a lot of positives there as well.
So I think you kind of hit the nail on the head though right there. You just said the key thing. There is no script. So when I reach out to Mad Mimi with a question, I know that part of it's a copy and paste response. It has to be, because they'd be silly to write the same thing over and over and over. But I don't get the, "Hi, Kelly, how are you? What may I do for you?" Copy, paste. Copy, paste. It doesn't feel like that. It feels very personable. It feels like they're just talking to me and there's not another soul that they've ever helped. It's just me, and they're super excited that I sent them a message. And GoDaddy does not feel like that. GoDaddy feels like just another name to, like I'm just another name to them. And one of our readers actually said, where did it say here? What this? Okay, so I think for me, my biggest concern is losing the contact. I've always enjoyed the personal feel of Mad Mimi and like the idea of real people to work with. GoDaddy feels more out of reach and commercial. And that is our biggest fear, I think.
Right. So, first of all, we don't actually have any copy-pasted stuff. The individuals on the team write their own if they so choose. So for something, so Celeste on our team will have a couple things that she might keep that she uses regularly. But in general, there's no, like, a new person on the team gets zero resources in terms of common answers, common questions. Because honestly, I don't think there's very many common questions. Everyone has a pretty unique workflow, and so you can't shoehorn that kind of you said these 3 keywords, therefore this must be the answer. It doesn't work for our customers, and so we've never done it. And that is something we're going to work with GoDaddy, and I have some plans. Their guys there are awesome. They're excited to actually see where they can improve as well. So they're sincere. It's the highest compliment I can pay them. And again, I'm not here to cheerlead for GoDaddy. And I feel like I'm kind of reading off my own script, but it's not. I promise you. The truth is that everyone there is sweet people. They're sincere about what they do, and they deal with some different stuff. But I'll be working with them, and I'll be learning more, and they'll be learning from me, and we're going to try and work with some small teams and see where we can make improvements. on both my team and theirs. So everyone wants to constantly improve because it's important to us as individuals. It's not like the company wants to improve. I personally want to feel like my job is making a difference in someone's life. It's email marketing, but if I can put a little bit more food on the table because I helped them get sell more of their product, that stay-at-home mom who's making something new after she's quit her job, then that it makes me feel good. And I've seen it. I've gotten baby pictures. I had a seal named after me, actually. So seal. So that's kind of stuff is something that no one on my team wants to give up. And so we're all very committed to maintaining the level of support we currently have. And I see it as a very fun challenge. I don't know if I'm going to succeed, but it's a challenge I'm going to try and take on. See if I can impact positively GoDaddy's culture.
And I think that is definitely something that's going to happen because GoDaddy, everyone is saying, I mean, that's what the thread over on the event page is saying, is that another person, let me get to it real quick, another person said, Heather, who is a blogger from, she blogs at Golden Reflections blog, she says, I'll say I started hosting with GoDaddy. We had a falling out in March and I'm no longer with them. However, Dean Levitt is easing my mind with some of this hangout. So she loves Mad Mimi for email marketing. And then off of what Mitzi had said, which is what Kelly had shared just a second ago, you know, everyone acknowledges that you guys have customer service figured out. You've got it going on. And so, you know, like I was saying earlier, this could be the perfect marriage because you've got the name of GoDaddy and the influence and the brand recognition. But what you guys are going to bring to the table, it sounds like, just after speaking with Angelina yesterday and speaking with you today, Blake, the CEO there, it sounds like he's very much aware of needing to connect with the small businesses. Kelly did some research and found how, you know, what was it that you found, Kelly, with the small businesses that they're working with? They're getting it, and they see the benefit that you can bring to this.
So I did some research. So yeah, I did some research because, okay, Crystal and I are very much devil's advocate to each other. If I am screaming and hollering and furious, Crystal, but just think, Kelly, you need to calm down and think about it this way. And the roles reversed the other day with the whole Mad Mimi GoDaddy thing, and Crystal's like, I just don't know. I just don't know. Like, look, listen, okay, GoDaddy is completely changing their image. Pay attention here. You know,
you're right.
Every bit of money that they're donating to causes, like 98% of it is going to women-run organizations. Amazing. And organizations for women. They're completely flipping, you know, what is it, a 360. They're changing everything. The 360 and 180.
It would be a 180, I believe. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's 180. Things are changing. Like I told Crystal, I mean, I'm assuming this is how you guys feel too. But like I told Crystal, Mad Mimi does something awesome. Yeah. They really, really do. The thing that sets them apart from Aweber, Constant Contact, MailChimp, all the other newsletter, email marketing companies out there is their customer service. And so they're going to bring that to GoDaddy. These guys built this. It's their baby. Come on. We all have blogs. We're not just going to say, okay, here's my blog. Bye. No. We're going to stick around and make sure that it retains what we've spent all these years building. You think these guys are just going to say, okay, bye? No. Right. They're going to stick around and make sure that it retains what they've built. So they're going to take that personalization and they're going to go to GoDaddy with it. But GoDaddy's huge. Everybody knows GoDaddy. I mean, there's a GoDaddy Bowl, a football Super Bowl, whatever. It's the GoDaddy Bowl. They're huge. Everybody knows GoDaddy. They might not know what they sell, but they heard of GoDaddy. So GoDaddy has all these contacts and this huge reach that they can bring to Mad Mimi. So Mad Mimi is going to have more funding, more investors, more everything, so they can make it better for us. I personally am very happy about the thing. I mean, I'm, you know, devil's advocate, so I have to throw in the whole stuff from the history, but I'm very happy about it. I'm super excited.
Well, it kind of reminds me, as you're saying that, Kelly, it kind of reminds me of like a Shark Tank episode. Do y'all ever watch Shark Tank?
Wow.
So it's exactly right. they only take the company that truly has. You can't go on Shark Tank and say, build me a business. You have to have done the groundwork. And then you're going to them because they have the connections with QVC and with JCPenney's and with Walgreens or whoever. And so it seems very much like that. But Dean, as you're telling your story and what Kelly just said, we have worked years to build what we're building. And I get chills thinking about, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what it would be. I think it would be very hard to work This Is Your Baby and then to hand it over and still sit there, still be a part of it, knowing that this was your baby that you created, and the pressure and hoping that it still continues, the vision still continues to be what you had intended from the beginning. And I mean, it sounds like all of those details are obviously worked out, but I mean, this must be, on one hand, it's very empowering, and on another hand, there's got to be, this is your baby that you're giving over, and we can relate to that. Every woman watching this can relate, because there are some women sitting there waiting for the day that somebody comes through and says, I want to buy your blog. But then there's the rest of us saying, this is our baby, we built it, we could never give it away. So I really empathize with you.
I was offered a huge sum of money for 3 boys and a dog, 2 years ago, Crystal?
Mm-hmm.
Year and a half ago?
Mm-hmm.
And I was considering it. I just couldn't do it. I just can't do it because I wasn't going to be able to retain 3 boys and a dog. I was not going to be on staff at all. I was going to completely give it up, and they were just going to do what they wanted to with it, and I couldn't do that. So we have to think, these guys have done their research. I promise you, they didn't just go, oh, okay, money, yep, here you go, bye-bye. No.
Well, we're in it for the long haul. Actually, I'm not allowed to disclose any terms, but I hope to goodness I'm well within legal bounds when I said that Gary actually offered to stay on and work for free, if need be. Doing the product design and maintaining that, and I had the same sentiment. We care. You know what? Let's talk about kids right now. I don't have kids and I'm not a mom, but here's the thing, right? My folks are still in South Africa, and they recognized when my brother and I were both 18 that we'd have more opportunities in the United States, and they were willing to let us go in order to pursue greater opportunities there. We were both musicians, so there wasn't much of a jazz scene in South Africa, but it's not like there's much of a jazz scene anywhere. But you know what I mean. There's more opportunities there, and no, it's hard for my folks to send both their kids away, but at the same time, they recognize the opportunities. Could I personally bring Mad Mimi into $100 million company that serves 10 million customers? I think I would struggle with that. But GoDaddy can help us get beyond there, and like Mad Mimi's our baby. This is how our baby can really get the best. So it's something we're into. And now we've, like you did, Kelly, we've turned down other offers in the past because they weren't right. We've turned down big investments even very early on where it would have been just seriously like beyond our wildest dreams, but it didn't feel right. This felt right. And we do care about Mad Mimi, and we are committed. And honestly, the more people like you guys who speak up and say like, yeah, but how sure are you that you're going to keep Mad Mimi awesome? The more committed I am to making sure that in a year from now, everyone says, wow, Mad Mimi is still awesome, and maybe even a little bit more awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you just have to understand from our perspective, it goes from, we're the biggest cheerleaders and we're out there saying, Mad Mimi is the place to go, Mad Mimi is the place to go, and then there's a big change that kind of freaks people out, and we're like, wait a minute, oh no. But I think I'm so glad you came on. I mean, it just shows your availability to your clients, and it shows that you really are invested. I'm serious when I tell you, women are sitting at home daily, managing their homes, managing their kids, being the housewife, being the wife, being everything, and they're trying to run these blogs. They're trying to supplement their household income. they're, they have a dream maybe that their husband can eventually come home and help run their business. They're really trying to create something.
Yeah.
And for GoDaddy and for Mad Mimi and for the companies that are like that to acknowledge and understand the influence that we have in your market is so powerful. And so for you to just take the time to come on and go over this with us shows the level of investment that you have. And we appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys actually giving me the opportunity. And you know what? I honestly, most of all, I appreciate you guys actually speaking up about your concerns. And Kelly had mentioned the 360/180 gyroscope thing going on there. But in order to achieve that, you guys who spoke up about your concerns over the years, like the fact that you even mention the pornographic ads in the elephant, what you guys do is you drive change. You drive change in a corporate culture. Like everyone who spoke up, and including people on my team, and our employees who all spoke up back in the day when GoDaddy ran afoul of many people's expectations and opinions. People who spoke up were the ones that took this behemoth company and put a lever in there, and they moved that rock. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. And it's really heartening to see that GoDaddy recognized that people were right about this stuff, but they would never have gotten to that point without this. So I really, for me, that's appreciative, because without you guys having spoken up in the past and feeling strongly about this stuff, I would have had to say no to what I think is a great opportunity. So so thank you.
Awesome.
Right. So I think we've, I don't know about you, Crystal, but I think that it's allayed some of your fears and concerns. And so let's talk about, okay, everything's going to be fine that they've moved to GoDaddy, they've sold to GoDaddy. It's fine. Everything's fine. So how do we use Mad Mimi? How can we make it work for us?
Cool. So,
yeah, that was I already had the question pulled up. Megan Cooper, who blogs at, where does she blog at? Joe Monkey, I think. She said she's anxious to hear more about it. She wants to know, why are you the service that I should use whenever I can have a free service like Google FeedBurner, or there are the alternative paid versions of companies like MailChimp and the others. So what is it? I'm sold on you guys. I've been using you since January. As long as things stay the way they are, I am your customer. So I love it, and I can't tell people enough great things about it. But you're here. You had a hand in creating this. You are the one of the original founders. What makes your company so great? What makes your service so great?
Cool. Thank you. Great question. So there's a simple answer to what makes us really great. And first of all, let me tackle the free thing. Depending on the amount of subscribers you have, we're free up to 2,500 contacts. RSS to email is a paid feature, but wink and a nod, just reach out. If that's something that you find a deal breaker, I'd rather you guys use Mad Mimi. So shoot me an email, dean@madmimi.com. Say you came from this hangout, reference Crystal and Kelly, and I'll hook you guys up. So there are some very good reasons. One is, if you use one of the regular, let me take a deep breath, step back, and then we'll get into the technical differences between an email newsletter service versus like just a real RSS feed. What Mad Mimi does well, apart from the customer service, which you guys have just, I'm a little bit teary-eyed about how kind you guys have been, honestly. But what really sets us apart is the simplicity of the actual user interface. If you are not a tech-savvy person, or honestly you just have a little bit less time to invest in this stuff, because who really wants to feel like they're getting a workout every time they try and accomplish something online? If you want simple, easy, straightforward, we do that better than anyone else. We're not overly feature-rich by design. We're not overly complex by design. We feel that the people who use Mad Mimi don't need the same tools that someone who's got a $100 million business and 300 employees and someone dedicated specifically to email marketing and 3 marketing analysts, etc. We think you have different tools that you need different tools to them, and you have different requirements. We're not building Mad Mimi to suit large businesses or even middle-sized businesses necessarily. We're building Mad Mimi to suit people who have 1 hour a month to do something, or half an hour a month to do something. And it turns out that a lot of big businesses and larger businesses with even 5 million contacts also need that same simplicity. But first and foremost, we build for easy to use, simple and basic stuff, and that's where we are different. We're also much cheaper than most of our competitors, and we'll match any price out there too. Again, it's more important to me that you use a platform you like rather than a platform that you feel you can only just afford.
Impressive. I did not know that you guys would price match. And I'll tell you, the reason that I came to you was because the reason that I initially came to your service was because my friend Dana from A Slob Comes Clean had just switched to you guys at the beginning of the year, and she had talked just so highly of your customer service and your price comparison compared to some of the others. And so that's what got my wheels turning and got me looking into what you guys offer. And I will tell you, my husband uses MailChimp for one of his business things, and the price comparison is definitely, I would definitely say that you guys are cheaper. So, and as a blogger on a limited budget, that's what we have to have. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was saying we're deliberately cheaper. We look at what our competitors charge and we think, how can we make sure we're more affordable? It's by design.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I don't know where Kelly went. I think she, maybe she had a phone call.
No, I was tipping my bowl up.
Oh, my Lord. Well, I had to turn my camera off for a minute because my husband's getting ready to leave, and he needed a shirt, and he's texting me, I need to get into my closet. I'm like, okay, hold on. Sorry.
So one of the things I want to talk about, one of the things that I was concerned about before so Crystal talked me into moving to Mad Mimi. Actually, my PR newsletter, I think, yes, my PR newsletter was always through Mad Mimi. Ever since I set it up with Mad Mimi. But all my RSS and my daily or monthly or whatever it was newsletter I was doing at the time was through other stuff, and Crystal ended up talking me into it. But one of the things that concerned me, the reason I didn't want to move to Mad Mimi, is because Mad Mimi was so new in the blogging world, and so it didn't connect with things. Like a hello bar, you couldn't use Mad Mimi. You can now, by the way, and I showed you how in the Facebook group, people. But like with the hello bar, which is a great way to do subscribers, and the little pop-ups, none of those accepted Mad Mimi.
Right.
I didn't want to move. Is it, are you planning to be more commonly known and connect with more of that stuff as time goes on?
Absolutely. We are now integrated with over 70 other businesses, more than 70, and we are, anytime a customer writes in and says, hey, I want you to integrate with X, I write to them and I say, hey, X company, we'd like to integrate with you. It's one thing that MailChimp did very well. What they did is they looked at a way to market themselves. They had in the past set aside a huge budget, and they paid these companies to build these integrations. We didn't have access to millions of dollars to do that, so we had to kind of beg and plead a little bit and nag and do co-marketing and stuff, but we never wanted to offer co-marketing to a point where suddenly we're advertising other businesses to our customers. So we've had some barriers. It's actually one of the positives now with the GoDaddy acquisition is that we'll have a little bit more clout to get a little bit more integrations moving. It is a high priority for us, building integrations, and we have a ton more options than we used to have, and we have a lot more. In the way, actually, yesterday I discussed some stuff with a very cool company that does some of the best pop-ups I've ever seen, and they will be looking to integrate with us in the next 2-3 weeks. So there's always stuff coming on, and if there's anyone we don't, just let me know. I will reach out to them, and I will ask that company to work with us to build an integration. I'll incentivize, I'll nag, I'll plead, I'll poke with a sharp stick, whatever gets it done. So yes, I think that's about it. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is so good to hear. Linda says, Mad Mimi was so easy for me to set up and learn to use chat feature, and those who man it have been fabulous. Please, please, please do not try to fix what isn't broken. Mad Mimi is so very user-friendly, and for us who are not tech-savvy. And Linda, you're preaching to the choir. I mean, I could not agree with you more, and it sounds like Dean has heard all that, and they get it. And I don't think they're looking to fix what's broken. I think that they are making a partnership to be able to provide an even better final product for both companies. So I don't think that that is something, I mean, I really feel like you're being very transparent, Dean. I feel like, Kelly's been trying for, 5 days to be like, Crystal, it's going to be fine. But, and your turnaround to come on, it was just like, yes, you were on top of it. Let's address this. Let's tackle it.
It was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as soon as Angelina mentioned that there were some folks with some concerns, I said, all right, I'm happy to talk to anyone personally. And seriously, to anyone listening, if you guys want to discuss anything with me personally, dean@madmimi.com, just email me any of your concerns about the whole thing. I'm more than happy to talk it through. And I'm more than happy to connect you to someone at GoDaddy if they're better suited to answer something as well. And if you want to talk to their marketing people or whatever, I will make sure you get the answers that answer your questions. So feel free as well. But yeah, we are not going to fix anything that's not broken. We're not even going to try and improve things in larger ways. We're going to still maintain our same training process, our same hiring process, which by the way is, oh, you're nice? Okay, you can join the team.
Nice. Hey, madmimi.com. Madmimi.com.
No, but really, we're not looking to change anything because we all like our jobs, and that's also one thing that we want to continue liking our jobs. We want to continue enjoying what we do. And I do want to mention one other thing that I found really, really telling. 2 years ago, GoDaddy acquired a company called Outright, which was a bookkeeping service for small businesses. Out of the 26 employees or members of that team, 25 are still there at GoDaddy 2 years later. And that, to me, when I heard that, I was like, fine, it's fine. It's going to be okay. And they're all happy because, seriously, 2 years later, that's significant to me. And I really got the sense that those same people, that 25-member team, I've been working directly with a lot of those people in this whole process. And I really feel that they're here to help make sure that you guys don't lose what you like about Mad Mimi as well, because they went through it in an earlier stage. They've learned also from mistakes that might have been made. They learned ways to make this whole process easier. But when I heard that their team is still there and my whole team signed on quite happily to stick around, I think we're not going to lose any of the things that made Mad Mimi good. And I'll be honest, there's some things about Mad Mimi I want to improve as well. So I think this will give us a little bit more resources to do so.
So Sheila at Brain Power Boy says, I started out free with MailChimp, and they give me customer service if I need help. It was my understanding that unless you paid, you couldn't get answers to questions on Mad Mimi. Not being able to get any answers to questions on a free account is one of the reasons I didn't switch yet. Do you want to?
Yes.
Okay.
Happy to answer that. So we send out some note somewhere that says you have to be paid account to be support. That's actually not the reality. We offer support to every single free account, exactly the same level of support that we offer our highest paid customer, who has a custom plan and millions of contacts. We do not actually make any distinction. When you write in, we don't check your account against whether you pay or not. I should get that note removed because it's so far from the reality that we offer, as a free person, you have direct access to me, to the CEO, to Gary, to every single person on the team, to our delivery folks, our developers, whatever. We offer full support.
And Linda says, to put Brain Power Boy's mind at ease, she says customer service has been excellent for my free account. So that's good to know. And Carol Ann says, well, I know I'm signing up today. Can't wait. Excited. I know folks who really like it. So Good.
So we have about 10 minutes. Okay, so we still haven't even touched on any of the awesome features. So, Dean, tell
Yeah,
us what we should absolutely be using as one of the add-on features with
cool.
MadMimi.
So there's a few, but three of them spring to mind, and I'm not going to get too in depth because I could talk for half an hour about any of them. But you should certainly be using our web forms add-on, which I'm pretty sure everyone listening to this already has an idea. It's the subscribe option. It's the way that you're gonna. It's a form you can embed on your site. You can embed on Facebook. You can share it on Twitter, in your email signature, whatever you want. It's the form that people can enter their email address and any other details and subscribe. You should totally be using that. I do recommend making sure that it's super easy to subscribe, to receive your RSS feed in every post all the time. I've seen it done in very tasteful ways, and I strongly recommend doing that. But assuming you've done that, let's talk about drip campaigns. So drip campaigns are autoresponders. And this is a paid feature, but again, if it's a barrier for you, just let me know. I'm not trying to do an upsell here. I'm more than happy to comp anything that you guys want. Drip campaigns is autoresponders. So let's say you've got your blog post and someone subscribes to your feed. That's brilliant. But you want to make sure that they're deeply engaged at that point. So something I recommend doing is maybe collecting 3 or 4 of your older blog posts and starting with a welcome email. Hooray, you've subscribed. I'm going to send you some of my best posts, or I'm going to send you an email with my top links, so you can get an idea of what you're going to be seeing as well. Something like that just really ups that engagement. So they've subscribed, they've read your site, and now you can actually just get them back there, get them right away back on your site, back involved, reading your top content. Drip campaigns are an awesome feature to set up even a series of 4 or 5 emails that say, here's some stuff you should know about the blog, here's what I'll be blogging. You can achieve your goals. If you have something you think your subscribers should learn, use the drip campaign to get that out there in a really easy, set it once and never deal with it again kind of way. And then the third feature I'm a huge fan of is link to list. And the link to list feature is anytime when you create a link in your blog, it could be your banner image, something like that, you can make sure that, or it could be an image in your link in your body, you can say anyone who clicks on this link should be added to this list, let's say the engaged list. So what you can start getting to learn is you can have your readers self-segment themselves into your most engaged readers, and then you can really send them special content. You can, if you guys work with any advertisers, you can send it to your greatest evangelists, the folks most likely to share your information. Or if you just want to segment and make sure you know who your most dedicated people are, that's a good way to do it. I'm a big fan of these features. Now, to take one little step back, it's all about goals, right? If you set a goal, it can be anything. It could be getting a little bit more traffic. It could be getting more click-throughs. It could be getting your advertisers clicked on more. Once you have a goal set, you can really start to actually pick out the right add-ons to help you achieve those goals. So if you have a goal, shoot me an email, shoot anyone on my team email and say, here's my goal. What should I be doing to achieve this? And we can kind of figure out a more customized concept for you. But those features for me, web forms, drip campaigns, and link to list are cool because along with RSS to email, they actually all really work beautifully together. You can kind of start putting them together like a little bit of a puzzle.
Right. I love the drip campaign because it's basically a way to give like a tour of your blog to your new subscribers. So, and you set it out to go, you know, once a week. Maybe it has 4 different levels of drips, and so when they first sign up, it's the welcome, and then in a week from now they get something that says, did you know we talk about recipes? So what I would do is break down my main categories and just give them the tour of these are the places you can find all my recipes. Then the next week, did you know we write about homeschooling or educational stuff, and here's all of that, and you're sending them. It's what we talk about, guys, where we say we want to get them over to our site and keep them there and build those page views and build the time that they're on your site and decrease that bounce rate. And so a drip campaign is a perfect way to be able to do that. I love it. I did not know about the list building for the engagement. That's so smart. Super smart. I love that. I'm so glad that you shared that. Kelly, are you here? I think we may have lost Kelly for a minute.
No, I'm here. I was just muted.
Sorry, honey.
I'm just talking too. I'm like, just talking.
What do you want to say?
Yeah, I haven't set up my drip campaigns yet. It's on my to-do list, but it took me, okay, so I was with AWeber a million years ago, and it took me forever to set up my autoresponders through them. And I know that it's not nearly as hard to do stuff on Mad Mimi, so it won't take me as long, but I just haven't decided what to put where, so I haven't done it yet. Oh, I need to do it. I need to hire somebody to do it.
I actually have a tip for you there. Start simple. Start with one email and then add it, because a lot of people think for drip campaigns that they need to have this map pre-planned with all the content pre-planned before you do it. I look at it like working out. If you sign up for the gym and you go every day for a week, you're going to burn yourself out and never go again. If you sign up for a gym and you go once a month and you just build that routine, and then you go, twice a month, and then you go once a week, suddenly a year later, you realize that you're doing it regularly. So I think for drip campaigns and for any of these tools, do one thing, let it settle in. So start with a simple drip email that says, thank you for subscribing to my RSS feed. You're awesome. Link back to your blog. Then next week or next month when you have time, tweak it a little bit more. Then add in the second email, add in the third email when you feel like it, when you have time. But at least you've got the momentum rolling. And that's how I do everything. That's actually how Mad Mimi's internal marketing does everything. We do it in small little bite-sized increments because everyone is busy. Everyone in the world is busy. So, the moment you try and fight that, you're going to stress yourself out.
That is my way of thinking. Kelly, Kelly says that I'm do what?
I said, yeah, I'm so not like that. I have to have everything planned out, and then I can go down my list and do it. Just different personality. But so I have a question, and I don't know, obviously, I haven't even turned on the little, light switch to do the drip campaigns. I haven't clicked the little thing. So I have no idea how yours is set up. But if I go in and I do a thanks for subscribing to my newsletter thing, will it go out to the people that have already subscribed, that have been with my newsletter for 4 or 5 years?
It depends how you set it up.
So you can't.
The answer is yes and no. Depends. Like, so if you're not sure, the way it works is you assign a list. So if you say, okay, everyone in this new subscriber list will get this email that says welcome to my thanks for subscribing, then that's fine. If there's people there, it does kick it off, but you can just let us know you don't want to do that, and we can kind of figure out the best solution for you, whether it's getting our developers involved or whether it's doing some juggling with your lists. There's a way around anything.
Gotcha.
Well, I'll tell you, I've only got one thing of my drip campaign set up, the initial one, and Dean, you and I, we think the same, because I mean the rest of it I've got to get it set up, but I'm a subscriber to people who have it all set up. A Slob Comes Clean is one of them, and she has a loyal following, and that's exactly what she does. She just takes them through. It's basically like a blog tour to kind of break you in. I think the same way. If I go to the gym 5 days in a row, I'm like, I hate it. But if it has to become this natural routine for you, kind of in an organic way. So I get it. But yeah, drips, Kelly, look into it. It's great. And I will tell you, their people are so helpful. You know how I am, Kelly. I'm like, I don't want to take the time to learn certain things.
I know. I mean, I've used their little chat bubble thing before. I know they're very helpful. I mean, that's why I stuck around. You know me. I'll try something for a month, and if I'm not happy, I'm moving on, and I've been with them for quite some time. So obviously I'm happy. I'm a tester. It's what I do. Okay, so Dean, is there any last-minute thoughts you want to leave us with?
Yeah, well, I do actually. I have a last minute. I have two last minute thoughts, and I'll keep them very quick. I promise. The first thought is seriously, anyone listening, and of course, Kelly, Crystal, you guys as well. Just feel free to reach out anytime at all. I'm always available. If I'm not there and you send an email to me, someone on my team will jump in and answer any questions they can, but they will also make sure it gets to me as well. So feel free to reach out. And the second thought is thank you so much. I'm actually very much in awe and admiration of you guys who build these amazing blogs and get this content up there. It's, people talk about it like it's a part-time thing. I know it's a full-time undertaking, and you guys work seriously hard. And I really am in admiration of it, and just wow. And I appreciate you guys having me on, and yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you. Blogging, we tell people will come to us and say, I want to start a blog, where do I get started? And we're like, really think about this, because it's a labor of love. You will make more money. If you just want to volunteer, go to your kid's school and volunteer. This is a labor of love. So it's our baby, and we can it resonates with me what you're doing over there at Mad Mimi. So Kelly, any final thoughts?
Yeah, real quick, I want to say, I don't know if you've noticed over on the Facebook group, so this has nothing to do with Mad Mimi, sorry. Over on the Facebook group, pinned to the very top, guys, and I actually put the Facebook link down there. It's the group is Learn to Blog, obviously. I put a form for a new quote-unquote business venture. It's Learn to Blog and GrowMat are combining forces, and we're going to do paid campaigns and product reviews and Twitter party panelists and all that good stuff. So the name of the business is Chatter. Be sure and go sign up over there. So we start the chatter about your business. So go over there and sign up so that you can help us start the chatter.
Yep, and guys, don't forget, we've got the free Facebook group that's another place to connect with us through the week for free. But then we also have the Learn to Blog forum, so you'll go to Learn to Blog Hangouts with an s.com/VIP, pay $7.99 a month, and we will hold your hand and walk you through growing your blog. There is so much content on there, whether you're starting at the ground level or you are a blogger who's been blogging for a while and you're just ready to kick it up a notch and start making more money and supplementing your household income. We are here to help you guys, and that's why we love having people like Dean and Mad Mimi on. I mean, just everyone sharing the same vision. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We have no idea what we're talking about next week at this point, but have a great week. We'll see you over in the other social media places and over on the forum, and go do something great on your blog. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.